Hi girls, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Luz. Thank you so much for watching. In today's video, I want to tell you guys my story of how I dropped out of college as I do my makeup. I want to tell this story because I know there's a lot of people out there that are fresh out of high school and are completely clueless of what the world is really like, and I want to tell you that you're not the only one that's feeling confused, feeling pressured, feeling like you have to do something now or unless you're gonna be a fuck up in life. And that happened to me, and I want to tell you that that is completely normal. So if you are interested in hearing my story, please stay tuned and follow along as I do my makeup. I am wearing a two-piece from my clothing store. This is the Love Set. If you want to go purchase it, my website will be down in the description bar below. So let's get started. I've said previously before I started my business, I was going to nursing school. I got my associates as a CNA and I graduated. I was already in the nursing program a semester in when I decided to drop out of college. The reason that I dropped out of college was because that is not what I wanted to do in life. And I did realize it a little bit, pretty in, college, but that's okay, like you live and you learn. So, as I was in college, you guys, at first I thought I was happy. At first I was happy. I felt like I was doing something with my life. I felt like I was going to be successful, that I was going in the right way. When I started college, I was very, very happy. I felt, like I was making my family proud. I felt like I was, I was doing something good for myself. As the years went by, though, I started getting very, very uncomfortable where I was at. I was starting to feel very sad. I wasn't really as concentrated as I was when I started in college. Things were just not clicking correctly. When I would go to clinicals, I was really not doing well in clinicals, like I would do what I had to do, but it wasn't from my heart. And I would see a lot of nurses, nurses that have been there for years. They would do their job with such a passion and talk about nursing in such a nice, you could tell that was their passion, and then I would think of what I was doing and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And it just started to just everything, it was just not making sense to me. And mind you, when I just had graduated, I didn't even let myself think twice about what I wanted to do in life. I was just nursing, it's a good job, it's a good career, it pays well, good benefits, I'm gonna be known as I was successful, and that's it. And also all of my sisters have been nurses except one of them. So I was like, that's what it is. That's what I'm meant to be, period. It is what it is, and boom, I went. And I feel like that when I realized finally that was not for me, all of that hit me all at once, and it was very traumatizing, I really went through it. And so, but obviously I'm gonna tell you guys. So then when I really started to notice that it was not for me was when I started going to clinicals. When I started to go to clinicals, which is hands-on everything, that's when everything started to click for me. I was really, really it's just different, you guys, when you're learning from a book than when you're hands-on is very, very different. And I feel like that was just where I had it. I was like, no. It was an eye-opener for me that was not what I was supposed to be doing in life. It didn't feel right. I wasn't happy. It fucking sucked. At that time I was already dropping my grades. I was not focused at all. I was already starting to think like, fuck, like I can't do this. Like it was getting very challenging. And no, like it was just, and it sucked. And another thing that I didn't want was for me to be a CNA. No shade, or I'm nothing against CNAs, because if anything, CNAs are the ones that have the toughest jobs in a way, because they do a lot of things. But I didn't want to stay there. I wanted to move up, and I wanted to really be an RN. So when I started to see really how crazy and dedication it took, like I was like, whoa. And honestly, it wasn't that I couldn't do it. I just feel like it wasn't for me. It was just not for me. So I decided to, like, I started really beating myself down for it. Like I remember, like, I would be like, no, like you have to, like, you already 2.5 years into, like, what do you mean you're just gonna drop out? Like, what the fuck? And then I would also think about my husband. I would think, like, he didn't go to college. For me, he's busting his ass day in, day out, so I could go to college, so I don't have to work and just worry about school for 2.5 years. Like, I can't just be selfish and be like, you know what, I didn't like this, bye. Like, and it was a lot, was that. And then also my family, like, what were they gonna think? Or like, also, what were people gonna say about me? They were gonna be like, that's exactly what we knew this was gonna do, nothing. And it was a lot to take in and process at the time. So even though I feel like God wanted me to turn around and focus here where I'm at right now, I wouldn't let myself, I wouldn't let myself take a step back and look at the bigger picture, right? Until literally, you guys, like, I remember every single day that I would go, well, not every single day, because there was times where I would just stop, I would just not think about it. Like, as soon as I started thinking about my future, I would just stop and think about something else, and I wouldn't allow myself to think about it, because I would just start crying. So I remember, but I did cry a lot. Like, I remember crying a lot to myself, literally, and I couldn't tell anybody. I felt like if I ever told anybody, they were gonna be like, dude, you're fucking dumb, like, just keep going, Or I felt like people were gonna tell me, like, that's what nursing school is gonna do to you, like, it's just hard, like, it's okay, it's part of the process, keep going. But it wasn't that. Like, I knew it wasn't that. It wasn't really that nursing school was hard. It was that it just didn't feel right, like, I didn't like it. I didn't like having to inject people, or having to take care of a person, or having to feed a person. Like, it sounds very ugly, but that's why now I believe that nurses are born to be nurses, because such a tough role. Like, it's not easy, you guys. And honestly, like, I wouldn't even have been able to do it for the money, And that's when it started to really get real for me. When I was like, I started to think to myself, like, okay, well, at least they pay well. And then I honestly told myself, like, dude, fuck the pay. Like, hell no, like, I can't do this. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be getting paid well, but I'm not gonna enjoy my job at all. Like, not even one single day, And also, like, I remember I started like having a really hard time, like, with work itself there in nursing school. I remember girls were just so smart about nursing. Like, I don't know, they would ask something about, like, the heart, and right away everybody would be like, this and that, and I'd just be like, oh, fuck, because I wasn't excited about it, Like, I would listen to what the teacher would say, and then I would go home and be depressed because I didn't want to be there, and then I wouldn't study, and then it was just all falling apart, But at the same time, I wasn't telling anybody about it, so it was like all, like, right there bottled up inside. And then my grades were going down. I wasn't happy. It was like a complete mess, you guys, until one day my trainer, she posted a video that she dropped out of college. And I know I said in my previous video, I would link it down below, but I didn't even look for it, because I didn't ask her. So I'm gonna ask her for sure this time, and I'm gonna link it down below. I remember that she posted that video, and I was like, whoa, like, that was like mind blowing for me, because to me, I felt like I was the only person in the entire world thinking this way, you know? I always thought to myself, like, why am I so confused? Like, how can I not know what I want to do in life? Like, how can I not know that this is not for me? You know, like, how? It was so confusing to me at the time. I was very, very confused. And I remember thinking to myself a lot, like, why don't they make like schools for people to go to and find out what they're meant to be? Or like, how come they don't teach this in high school? You know, how come they don't have a class of like finding your talents, you know, or finding your gifts, or finding things that you're good at, so you prepare these kids to come out of high school and know what they want to do, you know? Maybe that would help a lot of people out, you know? It would have for real helped me out. But I remember thinking that a lot, and it would like, I would break my head, you guys. Like, you guys don't even know. And I remember thinking, you know, whatever, like, I'm just gonna go with the flow. And then when she posted that video, I obviously saw it, and I was like, whoa, like, I'm not the only one that thinks that way, you know? I'm not the only one that wants to drop college, you know? I'm not the only one that believes there's something else. But honestly, at the time, I didn't think like I could be successful without college. But when I saw that video and the way she started thinking, it was like I opened the door to my own brain to start thinking all of that, you know? Like, I allowed myself to let my creativity and my mind start thinking what it wanted to think, you know? Because all this time I was just blocking it, and I wasn't allowing myself to think otherwise but college, you know, and nursing, since I had already been there 2.5 years. So I remember that video really was like a game changer for me, and I'm not ever gonna forget. So then I remember I started like, and at the time, you guys, she wasn't my trainer yet. My trainer wasn't my trainer yet. I just followed her on Instagram because she was, you know, like, I liked her, how she looked and whatever. And we also went to high school together in Arizona. And when she posted that, that's when I really started looking into her, and I saw that she was, she would teach people how to work out. She made that video, and it really inspired me. I was like, whoa, you know, you can really do that? What? And I remember I started to get close to her because I wanted to know more, you know, more of how she was thinking, why she did it, what she was doing, you know. And I did. She started training me. We ended up getting very, very close. Till the day we're pretty close. You know, I told her a lot of my problems, you know. We're pretty close, even though we're so far away. And I'm extremely grateful to her, you guys, because when I started feeling at rock bottom, she was there to give me a floaty to go right back up. And that's why I believe that everything happens for a reason, and God's timing is perfect, you guys, because I do not regret going to college, because it taught me a lot of things. Not nursing school. Nursing school did teach me a lot of things, but it taught me a different way of life. You know, it taught me that you can be successful both ways, you know, whether you go to school or whether you don't go to school. You know, it's like I have a point of view of both sides, and I am extremely grateful for that, because I believe that my success has a lot to do with that. So I believe that he put me there, so I know for a fact in my heart that this right here is where I'm supposed to be, you know. And I also believe that it took me 2.5 years to realize that, because I wasn't ready for what I'm building right now. I was too young, too immature. I didn't have the knowledge and skills that I have now. So I believe that he knew what he was doing. So that's why I don't regret it. And I also know in my heart, it's like a feeling, you know, like that you just have it. So I also don't believe I wasted my time. Like I do not. And so I remember I talked to her about it. She was the very first person that I told. And the reason that I didn't go to like my husband first was because I felt bad, you guys. Like, I felt bad going and telling him like, hey, you know what, like, I'm just gonna drop out of school and I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but I don't want to do this anymore. Because honestly, that's how I was feeling at first. I didn't know at first, you guys, that I wanted to drop out of school and build a business. Like, all I knew at the time was that I didn't want to be going to nursing school anymore. I wasn't liking it. I wasn't doing good. And honestly, like, it didn't fucking sound right. Like, seriously, think about it. Like, to me at the time, it sounded like, dude, what? Like, okay, let's break it down. You don't want to go to college, okay. You don't want to go to nursing school, okay. But then what are you gonna do? You don't have a plan. You don't know what you want to do. So it sounded fucking insane, you know? Like, what was I gonna go tell Oscar? Like, you know what, I'm dropping out of school and we'll see what happens. You know, it didn't make sense. It wasn't even like, didn't make sense in my head. And I'm honestly not that type of person that's just gonna drop shit and then be like, a ver qué pasa. Like, no, if I'm gonna drop something, it's because I have plan B, you know, or plan C, or something else, that another route I'm gonna take or something, you know. So I started talking to her and I was like, dude, like, doesn't feel right. I'm very unhappy. And I remember she guided me, you know. She told me her story, and it really, really like helped me, you know, start opening my mind to other possibilities. So I started you know, really, I had already been starting like growing my relationship with God. And you know, if you're not religious, I respect that, but I truly believe that God is everything that I have, because he guided me so much. And now that I look back in my life at that time, like, you guys, I wouldn't have made it, you know, like, I wouldn't have been so strong throughout the entire process, because I remember literally it was just me and him. Like, I would tell him everything, all my thoughts. I would cry to him. It was crazy, you know, and beautiful at the same time. And I remember at the time, all I asked was to please show me what I had to do. Like, show me my gifts and talents, and make me think, like, you know, literally speak to me, like, tell me what I'm meant to do. Like, please, God, like, I don't want to be unsuccessful. I want to be successful. I want to give my child a good life, you know, but I don't know, like, I'm so confused. And I felt so confused. Like, I do believe there's people out there, even probably you listening to me, that you're so confused at the moment. But I'm gonna tell you that you'll find what you're meant to be. But you have to look, you know. And I remember I would like read like books or like just quotes or whatever, and they would always say like, look inside your heart. And I'd always be like, what the fuck? Like, you know, give me something more concrete, you know, more that I could go and, you know, Google or something, not look in my heart, you know. It sounded so dumb and naive to me, you know, but honestly, it was just that, you know. And I remember praying and asking God for guidance and to put people in my path that were gonna help me open that side of me, you know. So I remember I started having a lot of dreams about my past life. Not my past life, what am I saying? About my childhood, you know. I remember I kept also remembering, like, having a lot of old memories, you know. I would just, you know, be sitting there, and then I'd be thinking, like, I'd be remembering of the time that I went to audition to be a model, and they didn't accept me because I was too short. And then I remember thinking also, like, of all those times I would like make my mom take me to downtown to buy little heels, and we'd be like running around the whole downtown for like hours trying to find myself heels that would fit me. But I wanted heels. Like, I didn't want just zapatillas. Like, I wanted zapatillas con tacón, you know, or is it the same thing? I don't know. But I wanted like heels for my size, for my age. And at the time I was like, you guys, I was like 10 years old, you know, and it was so sassy. And then I remember always like I called them mis trajecitos. Like I would always tell her like, mami, andale, llévenme al centro para comprar mis trajecitos. And then I iba a mi mom and she would let me, she'd love it, you know. And then also like I remember I would think a lot also of like if I was wearing pink, girl, I had to have everything pink, like my earrings, my lipstick, all my necklaces and bracelets, everything had to be pink. Like I was so sassy. And then if it was blue, I'd be wearing everything blue. If it was red, I'd be wearing everything red. And I was so sassy, like you guys don't even know. And this went on through the years. Like I didn't ever outgrow that. Like in high school, girls would come up to me asking me for like outfit ideas, outfit inspiration. They tell me like straight up like, Luz, what do you think about this? And I love it. I've always loved it. And then I was like, you know, it started clicking little by little. It didn't happen from de la noche a la mañana. Like happened little by little until I finally clicked. And I was like, a clothing store. I could start my own clothing store. Like, fuck yeah, this would be badass. And like all kinds of ideas came in my head. And I started talking to Oscar. And then I was like, wait a minute, but like, what is this? You know, like what is it, you know? So yeah, I went back, talked to Andrea. She started talking about entrepreneurs. I searched it. I was like, yes. And then she started telling me about books, about podcasts. And you guys, like, it was like, yes, everything started falling into place. Mind you, I was still not out of college. And I had still not told Oscar none of that. And I finally got to the point where I was like really super excited about being an entrepreneur. And I had to tell him, like, you know, I was like, okay, I'm going to tell him. Pray to God that he wouldn't like flip out on me and like dip on me and be like, this bitch is fucking crazy. She wasted my time. She wasted my money. And, you know, he was just like, I really didn't think it was going to go well with him. Like, I really thought he was going to be like, an entrepreneur, are you fucking serious? But he was very, very supportive, you guys. It was a shocker to me, obviously. So I remember one night we were driving home, I don't know from where, probably from Starbucks, and I remember I started crying. I just started crying. And he was like, what happened? Like, and also I would give him hints here and there. Like, I'd be like, hey, like, I don't know, today wasn't that good, here and there. And he would just, you know, be like, it's okay, babe, like, keep going. He would never really get it, but, you know. So, I remember that day I just started crying. Like, I just bursted down in tears. And he was like, what's wrong? And I let it all out. I told him, like, I was like, I don't want to go to nursing school anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm not doing good. I've been lying to you about my grades. I'm failing in every class. And he was shook. He was like, whoa, like, what the fuck? But he wasn't mad. He was just like, you know, like, it was like, it was crazy to him, you know, like, it was really shocking to him because all this time I had been telling him, like, I'm doing good in school. And I also want to clear this out. It wasn't that I didn't trust him or like he was gonna like he was a bad husband, because he's not ever been a bad husband. If anything, I was just scared of like making him feel like shit, you know, like I just didn't want to hurt his feelings, because I remember he would always tell me like, damn, like so and so already got like their degree, like damn, look, they've been going to school, and you know, and then I think like, fuck, you know, like I'm over here trying to get out of college when he could have gone to college, you know. So it really sucked. And that's the only reason, you know, not because he was a bad husband or like, you know, nothing of that. And so I remember I told him, and he was very shook, you know. And I told him like, I didn't completely tell him I wanted to get out. I was just like, what do you think? And I started telling him about the business, you know. I was like, Oscar, like, I really want to do this. I feel like, it's a really good idea. Like it's in my blood. It would be very easy for me to do this, because I love fashion. I love things that have to do with money. I also, before, as I went to college, I had a part-time job at a bank, and I loved it, you guys. I loved it. This is another thing, I loved working at a bank because I could dress up so fucking cute. And that was, like, people love that, so that was another thing, like, I loved working because I was working with money, but also the biggest thing was because I could dress up so fucking cute, and so I remember I was telling him, and he was like, okay, like, yeah, that sounds really good, let's do it. But he was like, but don't drop out of college, like, just keep going, just a plan B, a backup. If something happens, you have your degree. And I was like, okay, like, yeah, that's not a bad idea either, like, just have it there. And we went with that. We said, I was like, okay, like, we came in an agreement. I was like, I'll go to college still, do my best. Y eso me levantó muchísimo los ánimos, que ya tenía su apoyo. When he told me that he'd be there, like, it was like a weight off my shoulders. I still had, like, my family, like, to tell, but that was like fuck yeah, like. And so that I started looking into everything, and you guys, it was such a turning point in my life. Like, I remember being so happy, like, about all my business. I started researching a lot. I would watch hours of YouTube. I would read a lot about businesses. I remember writing down everything that I would need for my businesses, shipping stuff, where I could get my stuff, good stores where I could get vendors from, how I was gonna get my license. And I had a lot of help, you guys, like, because my mom is an entrepreneur herself. She's had a few businesses. She's had around 5-6 businesses, and they've all done very, very well. She buys houses, sell houses, she rents houses. Like, she's an entrepreneur herself, which also made sense when I started putting the pieces together. When I graduated high school, my mom, she wanted me to be an entrepreneur. Like, she would always tell me, like, Luz, like, I'll show you, compra casas, rentalas, yo te enseño cómo le tienes que hacer, and this and this and that. And I was always like, no, mom, like, I don't want to be like you. Like, no. Because I'd always see my mom working day in and day out, like, I'd always see her, like, like, doing this and doing that. And I'd always be like, oh, fuck no, like, that's not for me. But little did I know, you guys, like, little did I know, I just had to grow into it. Seriously, like, so I tell you guys, like, God's timing is perfect. She was, like, a big, humongous help when I started my businesses. She showed me where to go get my license. She showed me, like, the tax stuff. She showed me how to do it. What would happen if I wouldn't do it? She showed me how to, like, put prices on my clothes. She showed me a lot of things that I didn't know. And sometimes a lot of people on YouTube, they don't really tell you, they kind of tell you just the basics. But me, like, I want to tell you it all. I want to spill the tea, sis, And so my mom, like, she was a huge angel in my life. She is my biggest human angel, because she just helped me so freaking much, you guys, and now I can teach those skills to other girls that don't know what to do when they're starting their businesses, but all thanks to my mommy. And so anyway, so yeah, she was a big role. I started talking to her. She was so happy, you guys, like, but yet I still didn't have to, like, I didn't have the guts to tell her, like, but I'm gonna drop out of school. There's a little thing, I'm gonna drop out of school. I still didn't tell her, like, because she did ask me, like, and what about school? And I was like, oh no, mom, like, this is just, like, a little side hustle, like, to make extra money. And she was like, oh, I see, mija. Like, she was so happy, And so that was that. I didn't tell my family, like, I haven't, like, I mean, they already know, I'm pretty sure they already know, but I haven't officially told them. And in May, it's going to be a year that I started my business, and I haven't really officially told them, I have told some people, I've grown the balls to tell some people, because at first, you guys, it was very hard. But wait. I'm getting too ahead of myself. So then I started planning everything out. One of the books that I want to tell you guys that I read when I was barely looking into starting a business was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Okay, so if you are looking into the entrepreneur life, starting your business, read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book really, really, God knows I'm not lying, that helped me detach from my previous route in life I was taking, because I was very skeptical of, I was like, testing waters, and it was scary, you guys. Like, I was really like, you're really gonna drop school? Because I was going to, but I hadn't told Oscar yet. I was like, but in my head I was like, dude, you're really gonna drop school for this, okay? Like, gotta get ready, mentally prepared. So I started reading, to help my mind soak in all the most information that I could get, to prepare myself to be a business owner. So when I read that book, you guys, it was like beautiful. I remember thinking like, fuck yeah, like, yes. And so I definitely recommend you read that book before you start your business. And if you are in any way still kind of like a little iffy, if you wanna start a business, or perhaps not go to college, or perhaps drop out of college, or perhaps even like go to college and start a business, and guys, I'm not trying to get you out of college. Like, I'm just saying, I'm just fucking saying. And so read that book. And then also another person that I started hearing at the time is Andy Frazella. I'm going to also link him down below. Before I started my business, I started listening to him. He does podcasts, and I would listen to him on Pandora. You can also listen to him on Apple Music, I believe, and other different platforms as well. But those are the only two that I know for sure you can listen to them. And I recommend you start from the very beginning. He has like thousands of podcasts, like seriously. But I recommend you go since the very beginning. And that is another person that I also started listening, that, oh my God, like, you guys, these two people, like, seriously, were my mentors throughout the beginning of my business, and still till this day. Like, I've learned about a lot more people, but these are like the ones that I started, and since I'm gonna tell you guys more and more people, but right now I'm gonna just tell you guys those two people. Go read that book, go hear him, and thank me later. But me, I just want to give a huge shout out to Andrea, my trainer, girl. I love you, and thank you so much for like everything that you did for me. Thank you so much for showing me to these people and being there when I started my business, because I'm not ever gonna forget about you. I've told you this a bunch of times. But anyway, so and if you need a badass trainer, go hit her up. So anyways, you guys, I started reading, I started listening to podcasts, I started feeding my brain what I wanted it to get to, to cycle out, and which was an entrepreneur. They're both entrepreneurs, and they both didn't go to college, which is the route I was taking. I got my business permit, I did all the good stuff, and I started my business. Yes. So when I started my business, literally, like, when I got my permit, I told Oscar, like, I'm gonna drop out. I'm just gonna focus, and I'm gonna drop out. And he said, okay. He was like, okay, babe, like, I got you. You know that I'm here for you. I'm gonna support you in all your decisions. And I just went for it, you guys. I went for it, and here I am. It has already officially been a year since I got my business license, and I couldn't be any happier, you guys. I've learned so much. It's crazy because you don't ever stop learning, and I'm still very new to business, because I learn something every single day, But I'm fucking happy, you guys. Like, I don't regret dropping out of college. I don't. I feel like, in some way I had to go through it. Another thing is that I remember I was very scared to tell people also that I had dropped out of college. After I had dropped out of college, I dropped out of college last year in March. Yes, last year in March. I dropped out, and I remember I would still tell people, like probably up until October, I was still telling people that I was going to college. I was telling them because I was honestly scared to get judged. I didn't want to get judged. I didn't want people to change my mind. I didn't want people to tell me that I was stupid, that I was crazy, because as it was, I was already like scared, I really was. I was like, damn, like, what am I gonna do if this doesn't work out? Like, I literally just dropped out of college. And when you drop out of college like that, you get like punished kind of from college. So it was gonna be very hard for me to get back into college. And also I was using FAFSA, so like imagine that I also had to pay back like $400, almost $500 because I dropped out. So just imagine that, so it was scary. So I didn't want nobody like putting any sorts of things in my head. But then eventually, you guys, I started like being so happy where my life was going that I didn't care what people were thinking or what they would say or nothing, because at first you're gonna get it all, anything that you could think about. You're stupid, you're fuck up, get a real job, yeah, like you're gonna be unsuccessful, you're gonna get it all. But that's why I recommend you prepare your mind for it by reading these books, by hearing these podcasts, because these people have gone through it. You're not the first one this is gonna happen to. So you have to hear it, prepare it, and then when you actually hear it from a person, it's already been said in your mind that you're gonna be like, is that all you got? Seriously? Bye. So, and it's, and also you guys, I didn't become this strong-minded one day from the other. Literally I feel like I'm barely like taking off right now. Like there's very few things that people could tell me to like for me to feel sad about where my life is going. Very little things, and I'm working on it. I'm working on it because that's the entrepreneur life. The entrepreneur life is not easy, you guys, but it's fucking worth it. I love it, and I truly believe that in my heart that this is what I'm meant to be. God was preparing me, and I'm okay with it. At first, I wouldn't tell people that I had dropped out of college. I was still telling people like, oh yeah, I'm a nice student in college. I'm killing that shit. Really, I would, but inside I was like, fuck. And I remember telling Oscar too, like, dude, I have to like come out of the closet already, like, what am I doing? But I took my time. I did it when I felt prepared, and now I still tell some people that I dropped out of college, like, because I just don't want to hear it, like, I don't want to fucking hear it. But for the most part, I already, like, I'll say it. Like, if they ask me, like, what are you doing? Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm a business owner. And then they'll be like, what, are you in college? And I'm like, no. And then I don't go fuck what they think. But I have been thinking about going back to college, to business school, just because I want to expand my knowledge more in finances. So I think that I am going to be going back to college for that, but I'm still not sure. And not because I'm just don't want to go to college and I feel like I could be successful. No, not because of that. Mostly because I'm a little scared. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm a little like fuck math, but I know I gotta do it. It's gonna help my business grow so much more, and I'm gonna learn how to play with my money a lot much better, because I am also an investor. So it's gonna help me a lot. So I think that I am going to be going back, like I said, for the finances part, which is gonna it's gonna be a plus for me. But I'm still not sure. I'm still here. But yeah, those are kind of like my plans, you guys. I'm so excited. And that was pretty much, you know, how I dropped out, you guys. Like I said, I still haven't told my parents, like, officially. I'm pretty sure they already know, because, I mean, I haven't been going, like, I don't even talk about school, and they don't ask me either. At first, they would, and I'll also tell them, like, my dad, he'd be like, ¿y a qué hora vas a ir a la escuela? And then I'd be like, ahorita ya voy para allá, ma. And then they'd just be like, okay. You know, and little by little, they just stopped asking. So I'm pretty sure they kind of like put 2 and 2 together, and they were like, okay, this little girl ain't going to school no more. But they haven't really asked, and I haven't really told them. So when they do ask, though, I feel like I'm prepared enough to tell them, like, I'm dropping out of college, you know? Like, I mean, I dropped out of college like a year ago. But I feel like they're also very happy where I'm going. You know, my mom always tells me, like, she always tells me, and it means the world to me, because she always tells me, like, you're doing good. Like, you're doing really, really good. So I feel like that is her way of telling me, like, I already know, but I'm proud, you know? Because my mom also is not, like, very, like, fluent. Like, she won't really tell us to straight up. She does it in a different way, you know? But, yeah, you guys. And also, you guys, I didn't tell anybody that I was going to start a business until I had my permit in my hand. The only person that knew I was going to start a business was my mom, my sisters, and my husband. And that was because those are truly the only people that I trusted and that I hold really close to my heart, because I know they're the people that aren't going to judge me. Well, they might judge me, but not so hard, you know. But I truly recommend that too. You know, if you're out to do some stuff, keep it to yourself, you guys. Not because of that envidia bullshit, mostly because somebody is going to try and change your mind. And if you're thinking about it, more than likely, you got to go do it. So don't tell people because they're going to try and change your mind and you're going to fall for it. Because at that time, that thought is weak. So you have like a high chance to drop that thought just because these people are over here putting their 2 cents, and then you're going to drop it. Instead, just don't tell anybody, do it, and then you're going to see that it was the best choice you could have made at the time. So just do it, you guys. And also, don't be scared of failure, you guys. Don't be scared of failure. I know you hear this all the time, but it's real. Like, especially if you want to start a business, you have to. If you don't fail, you're not going to learn, you know, and failure is part of the process. Yes. I also want to make another video of how fear really does help you in being successful. I've learned a lot about that, you guys, and how you can use fear to your advantage. And if you've never heard of this before, I'm going to tell you, fear, use a way you can use it to your advantage. And also, that's also another video I'm going to make. Oh my God, I have so many ideas. Yes. But, yeah, you guys, keep your ideas to yourself, please. All right, ladies, so I am done with my makeup. I'm gonna go do something with my hair because it's like so lame. But anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you girls enjoyed my little story of how I dropped out of college, how it went, what it was like, and all that, you know. But if you have not yet checked out my clothing store, please refer down to the description bar below and go click that website link. Go check out what I have, you know. Please go support me. I still am a small business, which I'm thankful for. You know, I'm glad I'm a small business because I'm learning. It'll get there. But anyways, yeah, go check it out. Thank you so much for watching, ladies. Please stay tuned for next video. Let me know what you want to hear in next video. You want to know about the how to open a business, things to know before you start a business, one of those, you know, one of those, because well, that's what I'm aiming for, you know, those one either or. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, ladies. Please give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.